So let's walk you through the front pages as we are joined by Mr. Adeni Ifetayo, media analyst, who joins us virtually on the program today. Mr. Ifetayo, you're welcome to the show. Well, we're starting off with the Guardian newspaper, since it captures one of the biggest stories that we have right now in the country. And you see gas users groan as PENGASSAN strike crashes power generation exports. While a lot of people are concerned about petrol, which is a big deal, the Guardian newspaper is also focusing on gas, as it has crippled or crushed power generation and exports. So this is going to have, or is already having, a wide-ranging impact on Nigeria's economy. And we all saw this coming. Mr. Ifetayo, how much more time do we have before we have a full-blown disaster on our hands in this sector?
I can say we are at that point because they said a drop of water makes a mighty ocean. And if the situation is not arrested, on time, it can escalate to something else. We are talking about we will not be able to meet up the international supply, those people we need to supply outside the shore of Nigeria. And you and I know that most of our activity are fuel reliance. People need to move from point A to point B, and if once the queue return, the price is going to jack up. There's a whole lot of things, and I would say that beyond dialogue, I think the unions still need to look at themselves inwardly. Yes, you say you are doing this because of they claim 800 members of their association that was dropped or sacked or relief of their duty, and look at over 200 million Nigeria, what we're going to suffer as a nation, as an individual, losing fund. I read the report that we are losing up to about $110 million daily when it comes to gas. And it's this gas that power some of these disco or whatever it is they are doing at some institution. So I think it's high time they should look inward, and there should be a legislation that there are some things you cannot take too far. Maybe, for example, saying that before you can, some of those critical sectors, before you can go on strike, there has to be like a 3-month review. And it is high time, PENGASSAN, to look inward. If some of your members are being retrenched or sacked, whatever it is, you have 3 months maybe to review it, engage the company, not just because the company said, oh, I'm restructuring my organization or my company, I need to lay off this number of staff and all of that. And you say, okay, let every apparatus shut down, sabotage. But I just hope that they do the needful, and since they are having meeting with the government official, and Nigeria can just move forward. We can't be doing this at this time and age.
Well, the papers pretty much double down on that national issue of immense proportion this morning. The Vanguard newspaper, take a look at the headline. Court stops PENGASSAN, others from cutting gas supply to Dangote refinery. There are a host of riders there. We're not aware of any court order that's ascribed to PENGASSAN. Barricades, NNPCL towers, NMDPRA, NUPRC as strike begins. I'm just wondering about the scale of the strike beyond, the court order and who should be implementing this court order. We know that the strike was supposed to cut crude and gas supply to Dangote refinery and perhaps other oil installations. But I want you to speak to how total the strike was, such that it even impacted on the headquarters of the NMDPRA, NUPRC. Shouldn't we be getting some form of explanations from the relevant ministry? In this case, that would be the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, and from its agencies on the scale of the strike. And then you can also speak to the court order as well. Mr. Ifetayo. Let
me start from court order. Sometimes there are some court orders there is only pages of newspaper that you'll be reading it. I think we should move beyond this. You have the emails, you have the phone number, you have the WhatsApp messages that this thing can be communicated. You know, it's not that they will get a court injunction from somewhere and one other party will say, I'm not aware, I've not read about it, or they can be escorted to go and paste it on their doorstep and all of that. You know, having said that, another thing I want us to look at it, like you said, DPR, PENGASSAN, I heard that they had a meeting, was it 2 days ago or yesterday? I think there should be a strong statement coming out that this is our position now. Let everybody should stand on existing protocol, go about your daily activity. I read the report saying that the case has been adjourned to October 13 and all of that. Even in the spirit of independence, Nigeria at 65, PENGA can say, okay, let's give them 1 week. So after the, you know, those are the things which should be Nigerian first before you can be a member of one association or the other. Nigeria should supersede whatever it is that we are doing. There have been a gap in communication. NNPC is not saying anything. The meeting that came out, the minister, I think it's high time, even Mr. President should be saying something about this. I'm sure he should have been briefed. You know, he's in Lagos for a working visit, and that means he can still work. So those are the things that they should need to be saying so that they can give Nigeria some kind of assurance who would depend or solely on these services that come out, whether from Dangote refinery. I think the Mr. President should begin to say something so that we can have a clearer picture what is to happen or what will unfold as the day goes by. Okay,
that's a very fair point. So while it's expected that since the government has brokered this talk, that is the position of government, try to find peace. But I can tell you for sure something that the president is saying this morning on the front page of This Nigeria, Mr. Ifetayo. Take a look at the big story on the front page of This Nigeria. It's about 2027. We'll meet Jonathan in the field, says Tinubu. Well, more spokesperson, but yeah, speaks for the president. Presidency in blistering statement says president not scared of squaring it up with former president Jonathan in race to Aso Rock. By the way, 12 years after. This will be an interesting one if it goes through, Mr. Ifetayo. But hate it or love it, the 2027 conversation is on already. Even though the presidency in that statement, Mr. Nanuga said, they're not the ones starting the talk, it's the other people, the opposition. But what do you make of all of this, particularly at this time? And also the chances of former President Goodluck Jonathan, if he chooses to run?
You know, sometimes there's what they call misplaced priority. Even if they say you cannot be wearing white and you say you want to fight with a pig in the mud, you get your clothes or your dress messed up. I think it's not the right time for us to be having this conversation. Even if a journalist, you know, out of curiosity that, oh, this party, they are excuse me, this party are bringing this person on board. You know, I think time of independence is time that the government should be highlighting their successes, their challenges, what they are doing to meet the yearnings of Nigeria, not that telling us that we meet Jonathan in defeat in 2027. You know, I think is uncalled for at this time and age. And of course, if Mr. President, former President rather, Goodluck Jonathan should, just like you said, maybe get a ticket, whether of ADC or PDP, whatever it is, what is going to happen to the current president is that the vote is going to be divided. So I don't know who is going to take the other chunk of the vote, but of course in a democracy it's the voter that decide who becomes the president, and of course they say who pays the piper dictate the tune. We don't expect Mr. Ononunga to say otherwise, or president spokesperson or people who work in his cabinet. But if President Goodluck Jonathan should come, so far the court has cleared him and he got the nod. But you just know that, like, those people who said, come, we will support you, they are part of those people that betrayed him. But of course, there's no permanent enemy in politics, they say. So if he can work his way through, what I know for a fact is that the vote from, especially whether from South, especially from the South, is going to be divided. because good luck was regarded, like he said, you people will appreciate me when I leave the office.
Well, we have just one more place to stop before we close the newspaper review segment, and that would be New Telegraph. New Telegraph says, you know, it has a potpourri of issues on its top corner of the nameplate. Of course, it's also looking at the trade war between PENGASSAN and Dangote. We underestimated the gravity of PENGASSAN strike. PENGASSAN strike, that's ascribed to the federal government. And you spoke to the concern I expressed earlier about the scale of the impact of the strike. The federal government is saying here, says action paralyzed NNPC Limited, NMDPRA, NUPRC, others. And then the other riders you had spoken to earlier on. But the NLC is also putting members on alert, directing workers' mobilization. Mr. Ifetayo, doesn't it look like, you know, to you that, you know, the market has been deregulated and government has sort of left the levers of control, or regulation would be the word, in the case of this dispute? How prepared should the regulators be next time, you know, ahead of any sort of disagreement or conflict between the marketers and, of course, union workers in the future?
You know, they said that you can't continue to do the same thing and expect different results. If you know you make a decision and you have your finger burnt, I think it's wise for you to go back to the drawing board. Oh, we've left much in the hands of the operators or in the hand of the marketer. How can we just checkmate them, or in case of any emergency or future occurrence, so that this kind of a thing can be, you know, keep at bay, not that something that will escalate, that it will discourage both private and public investors, not that it will result to, you know, demarketing Nigeria, that even investors they are not sure of their investment. And there are a whole lot of things, a lot of institutions, key institutions for that matter, will be shut down, and Nigeria will be losing power. The energy sector will suffer for it, the aviation, so those are the things they need to bring on board and call a spade a spade. It's not because sometimes when they are deregulating or privatizing some of these agencies, sometimes it's because of their crony will be the one that will be in charge. You know, that's why they don't look at some certain things critically. I just hope that this one, that everybody will have learned his or her lesson, and look for a way to make it more, you know, Nigeria should come first, regardless of the association you may belong. Yes, there's a freedom of association, and not that because of that association too, they have rights. This how far you can go when it comes to doing this, not something that will sabotage the whole of economy, our fragile economy that we are thinking we are trying to salvage, you know. So all those things should be looked into, and go back to the drawing board and make sure that we have good governance. At least Nigeria, they benefit from good governance that they have promised, not that adding insult to injury.
There you go, Mr. Ifetayo. We have to thank you for your time. It's going to be a long day, and we are here to give Nigerians all of the updates. But Mr. Adeni Ifetayo, thank you once again for your time, media analyst, always joining us on the program.
Thank you. It's my pleasure once again.
So there you have it. Those are the main issues, but we'll get to the heart of it on the show this morning, as we have those who are in the know, understand the industry, understand the internal workings, just know where we're headed from here and how close we are to doomsday. Hopefully not. That's the moment. Stay with us.